that I take. I wipe my footprints away. I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You can push me around or put me in my place, but I'll never stay there. Understanding my life, why I am, may take some time. 'Cause every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains. They let you in from your disguise. Once you're in, you never give in until you see the light drawn from their I made my choice and I paved my way, and it makes me who I am. After all they say, my reflection still remains. You made your choice, you played your game. Now you're on your own again. After all you say, my reflection still remains.
Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Saturday. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Hello there in the live chat room. I hope you've had a good week, and let me get you guys up on screen so we can see who's in the house tonight. And we have Mary, Lisa, Patrick, Beverly, Billy, Clifford, Jennifer, Corey, Constantia, Neil moderating in there, Shawnee Key, Deborah, Patrick, Linda Z is in the house as well, Billy again, Patrick again, and Dan's in there as well. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight. And in this live stream, it's going to be a bit of a shooting from the hip live stream because I have the guitar out, or should I say, I have Mario's guitar out, because I thought we've never actually done a live stream where I'm showing Mario's guitar or playing Mario's guitar. So we will have a little go with that tonight, because I remembered that somebody asked me how I played the little riff that used to introduce the live streams, and it might even be on the end of the live streams. So I thought I'd demonstrate that for anybody that plays guitar, just in case you wanted to know, because anything that you can hear on the channel is me playing in the background. If there's any music or anything on any of the videos, such as the intros to the live streams, all that kind of stuff, that's me just playing the guitar, just recording it and then adding it to my own live streams. So we will go through that in a second, and I have a bit of a heavier tone tonight. I say a bit, a very heavy tone, because last time I was demonstrating one of my songs and it was on the Fender Strat, and yeah, that was okay as the Performer Series Strat. So it was a little bit lighter in sound, so as soon as you get into any kind of solo you lose a lot of the sound. So this time, at least for demonstrating my songs, I have a suitable guitar and a suitable tone set up as well. And this is the tone I do believe that I recorded the album with. I just plugged it into the computer and just stuck this microphone in front of it and then recorded the whole album like that. But this is the lead tone, so it's got a little bit of delay on there. I think it has anyway. We'll have to have a little listen out. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. So we are going to be getting my patrons up on screen because they make this possible in the first place. And a huge thank you to you guys. You know who you are. They also pop up in the donation windows as well. So thank you guys for all of your support. And due to their support, as I showed the guys on Tuesday, I bought a new mouse. So that still has, I think, something like 60% charge on it or something like that. So, and that was since Tuesday. I'm trying to remember when I got it. Maybe Monday I got the mouse. So that's almost a whole week in and it's still got 60% battery left, which is all good. And then you just recharge it and then it's good to go again rather than messing around with batteries the whole time. But anyway, that is an indication of where the support goes, and it just allows me to do things like that. Just order something that I need in order to keep things rolling rather than having to go out and buy batteries, or the live stream just falling flat on its face because I got no batteries left and I can't click on anything. So everything is fine, which is great. Let me get the other donations thing up on screen so you guys are all in the know about all the percentages, all that kind of stuff. And interestingly, last night I was chatting with Brandon, and this is Taj's dad. I think I've mentioned this over on Patreon in the past, but last night it was very late. It was actually 6 a.m. that I say last night, that's still night to me. But yeah, I was chatting with Brandon about maybe doing a live stream because Taj would like to get involved on a live stream. I've never done one before where I've had a guest and we've live streamed and just chatted. And that's something that hopefully we'll be able to organise in the future. And I said that, yeah, it's just going to be obviously a case of us working our time zones out because they're in Australia and I'm in England, London, England. So, yeah, our times are very much different. But I'm going to have to see what the time is over in Australia because I know this is where I'll have to either ask Neil or Mario as to what the time is over in Australia. Maybe they have different time zones there. I'm not sure, because I'm not particularly up with my geography and time zones and all that kind of stuff. But if we can organise that, then maybe we can do a little live stream of myself and Taj just chatting about music, maybe playing some of Taj's videos in exactly the same way that I play some of my songs on the live streams. We can play some of Taj's stuff as well. That would be interesting to do in the future, but that is something that myself and Brandon were talking about last night, so we will see what happens with that. As always, you guys will be kept in the loop over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and let me just get the link up on screen. So head over there if you want to be kept in the loop about absolutely everything, because I do a new update or a new upload there every day, whether it's a video or just a nightly update as to what I've been up to during that day. And as you can see, I am fully merched out tonight as well. We've got the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, we've got the Wings of Pegasus zipped hoodie, and if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then click on the tray underneath this video, and there's also a link to the store in the description below, so you should be able to click on that and be taken through. And having said that, let me just get myself off the screen for a second, because this was the breaking news that I put over on Patreon last night, that we're going to be having some pint glasses. And I've never really had anything suitable for orange juice or water, because sometimes putting it in a mug, you think, well, that's more for tea or coffee, whereas these pint glasses will just do the trick. So I will definitely be getting myself one of these, and there's the new logo design on there as well. So pint glasses should be added to the store pretty soon, because I've given it all the go-ahead on spring.com, so keep a little lookout for these and you can get your hands on one. And I know that over on Patreon some people were saying about getting them sent, and maybe it's a little bit not precious, but you know what I mean in terms of when you send something and it can break and it's maybe breakable. But anyway, don't worry about the postage because Spring.com take care of all of that. It's not me personally sending them out. It's Spring.com who supply in Europe, but also the USA. So if you order it in the USA, it will get sent from the USA. And yeah, fragile. That's the word I was looking for. Not precious. But then again, being a Lord of the Rings fan, I say precious all the time, so that's probably why. So, yeah, you can get your hands on one of those pretty soon. As soon as they are available, I'll let you guys know on Patreon, but also if I'm live streaming, then I'll announce it then as well. I don't think they are live yet. But anyway, where are we? 150 likes already. I did put that up on screen. Where are we? Well, I'm here, as I always am. I don't know where you guys are, but maybe put in the live chat room where you guys are tuning in from tonight, because I'm sure we've got a very wide mix of locations. Having myself just said, where are we, or where am I? I'm in England, as always, in the UK, and it's raining. What a surprise. And the weather's been just crazy with wind as well, just gale force winds. So yeah, crazy weather going on here. And over on Patreon, somebody did say about Art Not Commerce, it being a nice day for the walk. It was on that day, but it's certainly not a nice day at the moment or this weekend. But let me just quickly get into the donations that happened before we went live, because Orlando donated $2 and said spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And here's a plug of the mug. Let's see how they get on. And it's just on the other side. And there we have it. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I think we're then up to date with the donations that came in before the live stream, at least on the super chat. I know that we did have another donation on PayPal. I'll get the PayPal donations up on screen as well, so you can keep all that organised for as we move forward with the live stream. But also, thank you, Brianna, for the $5 donation. And the message is, I would pay you for an hour of playing any guitar fill. Name your price and make it big. So thank you for that, Brianna. And Francis has donated $10. Thank you for that. And it looks like a lemon laughing. So thank you for that donation. And I'm just going to jump into the PayPal window as well, because Lucy did donate very early on. She was a early donation and an early bird donator, and I'm not sure what time this was, but it was definitely before the live stream. And the message was, and it was a £6 donation. Thank you for that, Lucy. The message was, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers, I won't be able to make the stream. Enjoy, and don't forget to spike the likes, y'all, with some rock horns, a heart, and peace. So thank you for that, Lucy, and Lucy will be part of the catch-up crew. So hello if you are watching this in the future. So before we get into, I know that there have been another couple of PayPal donations, so I'm going to have to keep this organised because of the donation from Lucy was earlier on, and I might actually be able to see it here if I scroll down. Yes, it was at 11:37 tonight, so 23 minutes before we went live. But because I get these notifications through my email address, the Wings of Pegasus email address, of course I've had emails since then from various different things, so I've got to keep it organised to get to the donations. But I know that there have been other ones. Let me just get the PayPal donations window up on screen again. But I am going to show you guys, at least for this person who requested that I demonstrated how I play the little intro to the live stream. So I'm going to do that. This is probably about a year too late because I totally forgot that this person asked to do it. But hopefully they're still watching, just in case. And if you do have your guitar out, I am in standard tuning here, even though my songs are in flat. So it's E flat that I play my songs in. So it means that if I was going and playing the Art Not Commerce riff, it's not going to sound exactly the same as the recording because the recording was tuned differently, but you put your hands in exactly the same places on the guitar and with the right hand as well. So let me get the live chat room off the screen because I have to try and remember what I did on this intro, and I think it was something like going into... definitely wasn't like that. It was something, it was some tapping in there. That probably was close. I can't remember. It was going to be something like that. Third time's a charm. Oh, okay. Okay, I pull off to the first finger on the 3rd fret. Anyway, going through that again, we've got a bend, and this is all in pentatonic shape 1, A minor here, A minor pentatonic, and I'm bending, letting the bend come down, and then doing, I think it might be a double tap. This is the problem when I try and remember what I did, because it was so long ago. If you guys have been tuning into the live streams for any length of time, then you'll know that this, I probably played it, what, 3 years ago? So, down, and then down to the G, standard pentatonic shape here, but tapping on blues scale. Like that. Like that. And then I'm doing a pull off to the open. I'm going down, doing a little pinch with that first finger, open A string, kind of like that. So we've got that kind of thing. I think that was pretty much it. I might have had to change keys at some point in order to play it maybe in G, I can't remember, but that would be exactly the same thing when you're like that, but you can just end it in G there if you want to, or just power chord it like that. But that was roughly what I was doing. This is the other thing that I said we're going to be shooting from the hip, so I haven't even figured out what I'm going to be playing tonight, but that was, I think, the intro that is on the end of the live stream, maybe something like that. But I'm trying to... That was closer. I think it's in that kind of ballpark if you're looking to... We're finishing in A. As you guys can hear, we are in quite a heavy tone here, and I can see that about to go through that live chat room, we have Corey saying that's a gift from Mario. So this is what I was saying about the other guitar when I was using the Fender Strat. I just had a lipstick pickup and a single coil pickup, which means that it's not very beefy when you get up to the top end of the guitar. And to give a rough demonstration, it means that we're kind of going, and up the top there is all a little bit weak. I've really turned down the volume on this guitar in order to make it clean sounding, but when you open the taps on this guitar, because we've got humbuckers, which as I described last time, we've got two pickups right next to each other, those are called humbuckers, and it gives you a hell of a lot more signal. So if I was playing, just playing the same ending to the riff, but you can hear how when I get up here, you can start really having some fun with those pinched harmonics in there and just throwing lines together that even when you get higher up the guitar, you get a lot of sustain because the signal is so much thicker. So it means that obviously here I've got a lot of overdrive and some delay. So it means that when you are getting up to that high E string, you can still hear these notes. It's not like going... But interestingly, even taking off so much of that volume, you're still getting enough. You're still getting enough sustain to keep those notes singing for quite a long time. So yeah, this is what humbuckers will give you. They'll just give you a lot more sustain, just a lot more signal to work with. It won't, if you don't know what sustain is, it's sustaining the notes. That means that your note doesn't die. The decay is lengthened. I've probably just confused things even more by saying decay, but decay is the length of a signal. So as the signal decreases, it means that the signal is decaying. And that's sometimes what you see on effects where it has decay at the end and you can edit the length of decay at the end of a signal. But anyway, it means that when you really do open up the taps and you can really get a lot out of it. And it's really good for when if I'm now tapping on, you can hear all of my taps really clearly because the signal is being sustained. Whereas sometimes when you're playing on a very clean sound, you can tap, but you've lost the sustain on that note. So as I come to go, that note is still there. I mean, the sustain that you can get here is absolutely crazy. And I'm trying to, let me turn up. I'm trying to demonstrate on the right hand where you can do a couple of picks if you want to, or a couple of hammer-ons. So with that, like that. So then I'm using my third finger in order to, like that. Same thing there. So you can do all of this tapping. I mean, tapping is one of those techniques that I lean towards because I've got smaller hands, so it means that in order to reach notes I then tap with the right hand. But I think everybody has their own techniques that they focus on and they gravitate towards because of their own physiology. And this is something that I've said before about when you are playing and you might see somebody else doing something and they might be doing a long stretch and you physically might not be able to do it. So just work on the techniques that really you can improve with rather than trying to force yourself to play with somebody else's techniques with a different size hand that they have. But yeah, this is it. That it's all about just playing your own way and working on the techniques yourself. So taking down to E and the Art Not Commerce riff. Let's just shoot from the hip and have a little go through that. So we've got this again in E minor here. Actually, this is going to be an E5 power chord pretty much. I'm going as far as the octave. I'm pretty much putting that in there. Little slide up, C to D. And then we've got a little run over there. 2 strums on the D. Open A. And then from the B to the C. So that is kind of like that. And as we go, that then goes through 4 times. Then we go a little C sus2 there at the end, which then is going to lead you into the verse, which has piano in it, but the chords on the guitar, we have Oh, and then the chorus starts in D. I was jumping back into the riff there. So the riff then comes in again after the chorus, but for Now it depends if we're going into the verse or going into the chorus, because there's a variation there. I was literally just trying to remember that as I went, but it all came back to the muscle memory, which is fine. But then it depends at the end of the chorus whether you're going into another verse or whether you're going into another chorus as to the little rundown that you play. But relatively straightforward stuff. That's if you're then going into the riff. Then we're back into the verse, and if you want to know, we can throw in the other guitar part in the chorus, which is really boring, but it works, or at least I thought it worked really well over the top of the chorus. When you have this, or it's literally going, just changing between the E and the D. We've got this, and that's all it is. It's just doing that. And that's all that second guitar part's doing, but you might be able to hear that over the top of the chorus. In the riff, it's just the riff, so there's no kind of octaves going on. But that is that. And we'll have to keep a little lookout to see if in the live chat room we can see Mario in the house, whether he's going to be in there or not tonight, because this is Mario's guitar, and this is why I have it out here tonight, so that we can have a little look at it, also listen to it. And that is a pinched harmonic, by the way, going when you catch the string with your thumb after you've picked it. So it's that. And you'll hear it a lot in 80s metal and hard rock, the kind of music that I'm into, but I love that kind of sound. The playing a note straight and then throwing in that little pinched harmonic, really cool stuff. And this is where you can start tapping in with that right hand as well, which is something that I like to do as well. So that is all thanks to Mario that we are playing this guitar tonight. So back into the PayPal donations window. Let me get you guys back up on screen as well, and maybe I can still play the guitar. You won't be able to see what I'm doing with my left hand, and maybe I'll just play lots of lines at the bottom down here. So that you can't see what I'm doing, and then really annoy everybody. But I can move it up here, and then you can see what I'm doing a little bit higher up. So anyway, back into the PayPal donations window. So thank you Deborah as well, who has donated £6.75, and the message is, I may be late or not make it, everyone have a rocking good time. So thank you for that, Deborah. And I haven't seen Deborah's name in the live chat room yet, but if you are watching this on catch up, hello for later on tonight. And I'm just going to scroll up because Joan has donated £50. Thank you so much for that, Joan. And the message is, love the pint glasses, here's something for the hard drive fund. So thank you for that, Joan, and this is it, that I'm filling up the hard drives like you wouldn't believe because of all the analysis videos and everything that I'm doing. So this is just the way of it, that I go through a lot of hard drives, and yeah, I need lots of them stacked up in advance. But thank you for this, Joan. I am pretty much full, so I did mention this on Patreon that I needed to get another one, but thank you for that, Joan. And there's been another one that's come in, and this is from Brenda, and it's a £10 and 12 pence donation. Thank you for that. And it is a straight up donation as well, without a message. So thank you very much for that. And Sue has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, Hi Phil and Wingers, can't stay for the show. I will try to make the after party and catch up crew. Spike the likes! Exclamation mark. So thank you for that, Sue, and a great idea. If we can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. We're at 210 likes so far, and it's just gone over 211. So thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated. And let's just get the target at the top of the screen as well. Just in case we get anywhere near that tonight, we are aiming for 360. That is our pick roulette likes goal. So if we hit that target, it means that next week we will be having a pick roulette. So look out for that likeometer. We need a few more people to be hitting that thumbs up, but we will see where we end up. And it's already just gone past midnight here in the UK, so we've still got a little bit of time left. If we can get a spike of the likes, that would be good. So let's have another little scroll up here, because Kevin has donated £2. Thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, it's now 9:30 a.m. Sunday in Sydney. Today it was sunny and 85 Fahrenheit in Indianapolis. My little dachshund hound enjoyed his walk with a smiley face. So, and half a rock horn. So thank you for that, Kevin. And also for the 9:30 heads up about the time. So that is something that might be able to work in the future with Taj. I will keep you guys in the loop as and when that will be. And we are going to be taking a look at Taj next month on the 6th of June for his Under the Spotlight episode. So keep tuned in for that. And maybe we can do something with Taj live around that time. That would be cool. We'll have to try and organise diaries. But thank you for that, Kevin. And Leilani has donated £15. Thank you for that, Leilani. And the message is, Phil, can you show us the fretboard? So thank you for that, Leilani. And I can do... So here it is. I'm not sure whether it's really going to help, but we have, I mean, what you'll see on lots of fretboards, if I do that, I can hide my face. On lots of fretboards, normally you'll just see dots, but here, because this is a Steve Vai signature, and it's signed by Steve Vai as well, you might be able to see it at the bottom of the guitar. I can't even see the screen now, so I don't know if you can see the signature on the bottom there, but it's signed by Steve Vai, and obviously this is a custom piece of artwork on the fretboard, or at least the fretboard artwork is different to what you normally have. So people, when they are watching somebody play on a fretboard like this, they think, well, how do you know where to go? How do you know where your notes are for, you know... How do you know where to put your fingers? Even though then I kind of did it without looking, which kind of defeated the point. But if I was looking, I would look at the side of the guitar. If you don't play guitar, this is all useful information. The side of the guitar has dots on here. So you can have anything you want on your fretboard. It doesn't really matter how complicated this design is. When you look at the guitar, that's what you see. That's what you see when you're playing it. So you always see the dots down here. So as you can see, the two dots here on the 12th fret just above my finger, that's your octave. So it means that anything that I play at the bottom of the guitar, like I had this, if I play that and I move it up here, I can move straight to there. Even though you can't see the dots, I can see the dots on my guitar on the side, so I know that that's the octave. And you're just playing exactly the same thing. And that's going to go for the whole guitar, no matter what you're playing. If I was in A, and I went... and played a little line there, I would then move up, and because I got the dots on the side, I knew that I was on the second dot, and there's actually a dot on the first fret as well. But if you're counting that one, it'll be the third dot up after my octave. So I would then count up to exactly the same place. And here, It's just an octave above that. So you get all of that guide on the side of the guitar. So just to let you guys know, just in case you don't play guitar and you don't know how you navigate when the fretboard doesn't have any markings on it, it's all on the side so you can see, and so there's always markings. You're never going to lose your place. If you then got rid of the markings on the side, then you would really have to go from muscle memory, and pretty much when you are playing, and say for example I'm playing in A here, all of that kind of stuff. That's all muscle memory. So it means I don't have to look at the guitar in order to play a line. You can just let your fingers go and they're going to just keep repeating the muscle memory that you've told them from hours and hours and years of practice. They will automatically play the notes. So once you're in your shape, unless you're doing a really big slide, which I have said in a video before about navigating the fretboard and not looking while you're playing, if there's a huge slide that you're about to do, or you're jumping up an octave, players will always look as to where they're jumping. But if you're just playing in a particular shape like I was there, as I'm going up and going, I know that here, and even here, all I'm doing here is just navigating my way through a shape. And here, I know now, because I know the shapes in my head and how they interchange with each other, I now know that I'm an octave above where I started, and I haven't had to look at the guitar. I've worked my way up from this A shape one here. There. And if you want to get really high up, the only problem without looking is that, like there, when you start going really high, you might actually run out of frets. So if you're really getting into it and you're not really thinking about your key or how many frets you've got on your guitar, you might go for a big bend, and because you haven't looked in so long, you kind of forget that it's not just an endless guitar that goes on forever. So that is how to kind of play without looking, but if you need to look all the time, it's not really even if you need to look. I'd say that there's nothing really to be gained from forcing yourself not to look at the guitar, because then you might mess something up and you don't want to be doing that. So I think it's absolutely fine to look at the guitar, and you'll always have those dots on the side facing you. But anyway, thank you, Leilani, for that question, and I hope that helped or maybe explained about the fretboard. And thank you, Beth, as well, who has donated £13.49, and the message is, let's have a little scroll down. Hello, Phil and Wingers, just wanted to say, hey, like and sub rock with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Beth. Great idea to hit that thumbs up if you do get a chance, and also subscribe. We're now past 173,000 subscribers, so thank you everyone for subscribing, as well as hitting that thumbs up button. It is much appreciated, and if you want to hit that thumbs up in this live stream, that'll be much appreciated as well. 231 likes and counting. So let me just have a little scroll up, because I can see that Orlando has donated again £2. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, as I mentioned, The Warning released a new song and video called The Choke. It is on YouTube and phenomenal. Daniela has epic vocals with some rock horns. So thank you for that, Orlando. And I think I caught a little bit of this video maybe on Instagram, just as I was checking through messages on there. And yeah, it was, I can't remember exactly what it was, like a dark video, a lot of black going on, which is cool. And the song I did hear, because it cut out, I think it was only about 30 seconds, but it did sound like there were some serious vocals on there. So check that out if you guys get a chance. And thank you, Orlando, for that message. And also, Marge has donated £2.02. Thank you for that, Marge. And the message is, especially liked the Gene Vincent demonstration. The more you play, the better we understand. Do you see the fretboard in your head while playing? So thank you for that, Marge. And that just interlinks exactly into what I was just explaining, that when you're not looking at the fretboard, you've got the shapes in your head. And because you always get feedback through your fingers as to where you are on the guitar, or at least once you've started in your shape. So starting in A, as you move up, say for example you do a little slide, you get used to going over those frets of and feeling that on your finger. So it's like when you slide up, you feel boom boom. It's a very quick bit of feedback, but you can feel how many frets you've gone over. It's when it's a really fast really fast slide over many frets, you can't take in how many you've gone over, because it's just like your finger gets lots of like that, and you can't count that. Whereas when you go over a couple of frets, you can feel a couple of frets and you know how far you've gone with that slide. So once you've got the shapes in your head and pretty much that little slide up, your muscle memory just stores the distance that you slide up to. So after a while, obviously it's a lot of practice, a lot of playing, but you will eventually be able to just slide up like that without having to look. But thank you, Marge, for that. Pretty much, yeah, I think every guitarist probably has however they've learned to play lead guitar, they have that in their head while they're playing. So whether it be just a simple, minor pentatonic shape, that shape 1 of, you might have that in your head. You might have that natural minor shape, even that kind of thing. So again, I'm not looking there, I'm just playing through shapes that my hand. And then you can start to blend those shapes together. So yeah, the brain is a very clever thing. If you just keep on practicing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, your brain will not have to think about it, because your muscle memory now has been told what you want it to do, and it just loads it up. You don't have to think. Like playing all of those notes, I'm not thinking about any of those notes. I'm just loading up a particular sequence that if I'm going, if you're doing 2 or 3 or 4 notes at a time, then it's too fast, especially if you're playing it quickly. I have obviously turned the guitar down because it's very, very heavy with the tone. I want you to be able to hear the notes quite clearly. But when I'm throwing those notes together, I'm not really thinking about those. It's all muscle memory and that is basically what fast playing is. Just you triggering what you want your hand to do, and it will just go through a particular run that you've practiced over and over and over again, and it will just load it up and you don't have to think about it. It's very much subconscious playing when you are playing notes very fast after each other, because you can't think consciously that quickly about the notes that you're playing. You just let the muscle memory do what it does, and then when you then slow down and get back into your... and you start playing notes that are a lot slower, you can then start to throw things in a lot more consciously. But anyway, thank you, Marge, for that question and that donation as well. So I can see that in the super chat donation there has been a little bit of action in there, and Kathleen, Orlando has donated again in the super chat window saying for $2, saying, I recommend The Choke, The Warning, great song. So thank you again for that, Orlando. Kathleen donated $10 and says, just wanted to say thank you for these live streams and the analysis. So thank you, Kathleen, for that and the $10 donation. And Chet is in the house and has donated $2.99. Thank you for that, Chet. And it's a guy saying fist bump, I think that says. So thank you. It's very small, but thank you for that, Chet. It's a guy kind of doing almost like punching. So thank you for that. Right, it's 1:45 here in the morning already, and this might be a problem with me getting the guitar out. I get a little bit sidetracked with all of this playing stuff, but we are going to be jumping into the requested cover for tonight, which I'm going to have a little look over on Patreon. Was requested a few times. Kevin did mention that Diana has been asking for this for weeks, and let me have a little scroll down to see who else requested this one. Beverly did as well. Des, I'm just going to keep on going down, and I'm not sure I can see any more, but there must be more in there. Oh, Orlando did as well, so thank you for that. Anyway, without further ado, this is my version of the Cutting Crew classic, I Just Died in Your Arms. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you after. Rock!
I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get. But broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. The diary sits by the bedside table. The curtains are closed. The cat's in a cradle. Who'd have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just
And there we have it. That was my version of I Just Died in Your Arms by Cutting Fruit, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And thank you everyone for joining me tonight. So let's have a little look into that live chat room, see who's still in there. We have Jennifer and Neil just going through. Rebel Rocker, Vince is in the house as well. Myra, Mike V Dog, Billy, Donna, and Shawnee Key about to go through there as well. So thank you for that. And right on cue, Rebel Rocker has donated $20. Thank you for that. And the message is, you all rock, with some rock horns, a heart, and two something or others that I can't make out because it's a little bit too small. But maybe it's a person on their knee, maybe, I don't know. But thank you, Rebel Rocker, for that donation. And I know that there has been another donation or two in the PayPal window, so we will get into that. But let me just mention about the Wings of Pegasus supporters page over on Facebook, because I haven't mentioned that yet tonight, but I always do mention that in the live streams. If you are a Facebook user, you can get over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook. Just type that into the search bar, and then you'll find where all of these lovely people in the live chat room hang out between the live streams. So head over to that Facebook page if you want. You can join that and you'll be allowed into that, and you can interact with everybody there. So thank you everyone who has joined up with that group and for making it such a great place over there, but also such a great place in the live chat room. Huge shout out to the moderators as well, as Neil went through there, for doing such a great job in that live chat room. And you'll be able to see their names going through. They are in blue, or at least they should be in blue, with a wrench next to their name. And you've got Neil in there, and Carla and Laurie as well. So thank you guys for doing such a great job. Let me just jump into the PayPal donation window, because Orlando has donated £1. Again, thank you for this, Orlando. And the message is, thank you for keeping up with all the donations. There are so many, they go by so fast. So thank you for that, Orlando. And this is something that I always make sure to acknowledge every donation. Doesn't matter how long it takes, even if the live stream is just me saying thank you for the donations, but I want to make sure that I do get through all of them and don't miss one. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Karen has donated £3.37. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, I sincerely appreciate your incredible playing and your explaining the techniques. Thanks for teaching and reminding me musically about muscle memory, finger shaping, and of course the importance of practice. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And this is the thing about playing the guitar with your own physiology and making sure. You might see that sometimes when I'm playing bends that I'll play something slightly higher up so you can see. If I'm bending with my second finger there, you can bend with that third finger, but I tend to default to bending with my second finger to then free up the third finger if I want to play any other notes. And what people tend to do is use their third finger, and then they'll use their little finger if they want to play a tone with the third finger and maybe another tone with the little finger. But because my hands are slightly smaller, it means that if I am playing, for example, we'll keep it in E. If I now have a stretch of those two tones, you might be able to see how I'm using, it's probably not very clear because I'm playing it quite quickly, but I'm using my first finger, my second finger, my little finger, in order for my hand to get enough angle to be able to stretch up with my little finger. And people with bigger hands would just play that like this, with the third finger playing that tone, and they'd use that little finger, just it would naturally sit over that 12th fret. Whereas with my hand, I would have to push my finger. You can see just a slight variation there. I'd have to move it, whereas when I tilt my hand, my finger already sits over those frets. So that's something that I do because of my physiology, and I say a lot of people, maybe couple of people, maybe 3 people over the years have said, oh, you should be bending with your third finger, because they've seen other guitarists with bigger hands doing a bend such as there with the third finger, which I do sometimes, but I sometimes stretch over with that second finger, because now it leaves that third finger to then play that B string as well, and you'll often get that bend with the second finger and then the third finger playing. You might see some players do a like that, which is third finger then little finger like that. I don't play it like that because I have got smaller hands, so everything that I play has been figured out myself for my own physiology, to make sure that if I wanted to play that line, then I can do it. I don't have to kind of move my fingers so much. I just play with the most efficient fingering possible that I can with my own physiology. So it's a really important thing to take away from learning guitar, is that you've just got to play the most comfortable way. And this is something that Frank Marino said when he was on the channel. We were discussing about playing and making stretches, all that kind of stuff. And you'll find that there are pros and cons to having big hands as well as having small hands. So, for example, if I was playing a line where, I'll keep this in E minor, this line where I can alternate between those notes very quickly because I've got smaller hands, and I can play 2 fingers on the same fret. Whereas if you've got thick fingers and you've got very big hands, physically it will be very difficult. You probably wouldn't be able to follow those notes on very quickly because your hands are too big that they get in their own way. Like the fingers will get in the way of each other. Whereas because I've got smaller hands, it means that I can do that. And it might mean that I might not be able to get a big stretch that another guitarist can get, but then I can do that. So like I said, there's pros and cons to having small hands and large hands. The most important thing is just to play your own way and just play for your own physiology, because then you're never going to get stressed out about not being able to do something, because you can just accept that something that somebody's playing. This is the other thing, that when I was learning to play and I was watching a lot of Paul Gilbert videos, he's a really tall guy anyway, but he's got spider fingers. They just seem to go on just endlessly. And some of the stretches that he was doing, I was trying to do them, and this because I was learning and I was young at the time. I hadn't really thought about physiology, so when I couldn't play it, I started to think, oh, why can't I play this? I just can't get it. Whereas then, as I got older, I started to notice that he wasn't moving his hand in order to get to the notes, but he would be, for example, playing the 7th fret followed by the 12th fret without having to move his hand. Whereas for me, I would have to try and get all the way up there in order to stretch up to it. So the amount of time it takes me to stretch, he's not having to do it. So he can play notes really fast after each other because he's not having to move. He can just sit where he is and play those notes right after each other. So it was a bit of a moment of understanding that you just got to play the way that you are meant to play, with your own hand and your own taste, your own influences. Just piece it all together and then you will sound unique with your own playing. So that is something that I thought I would mention. Thank you, Karen, for that donation, and about mentioning about the muscle memory, but also the techniques and just playing for your own physiology. It's a really important thing to understand when you are learning to play, that there's really no right or wrong way of doing it. You can, with alternate picking, all that kind of stuff, when you are starting to pick out these notes and you're placing them together, that kind of thing, that is obviously synchronization between your left hand and right hand, and you want to make sure that you just practice it really nice and slowly so that you get the accuracy there, so that you can get that. And you want to also practice combining it with pull-offs like I was doing there, and the alternate picking. You've got to keep everything really slow to begin with. So that would be And this is something that every guitarist across the land has done this and just sat down and practiced doing that same thing over and over and over again. And then eventually you can gradually speed it up just day by day, and it will get to a speed where you'll be happy with it. And this is the other thing about playing fast is I only really have practiced techniques to the point where I'm happy with the speed, and I don't really see the need to play any faster, especially for my own personal taste. I'm not one of these players that does a lot of sweeping across the strings and arpeggios, that kind of thing. For example, if I'm playing in that A minor arpeggio, or you can tell that I'm not really into playing lots of arpeggios. This, or even throwing it, that kind of thing. I don't really play any of that, and as you can tell, I haven't really practiced it. So throwing the notes in after each other like that, I can't think of notes that quickly, so it's not something I would naturally go to in a solo. Whereas when I'm playing down the shape 1, all of that, kind of stuff, I can think about it and think of it in my head while I'm playing it. Whereas arpeggios, I can't think, the notes happen too quickly. So anyway, that is kind of, in terms of speed, I don't think my music ever needs sweep picking or arpeggios. It's not something I sing in my head, so it's not something that I'm going to put into my music. And I know that there are some players that say, oh, it's better to have it and never need it than need it and not have it. But if you know you don't need it, it's like me going and learning how to play a recorder and say, oh, well, I don't, it's better to learn how to play a recorder because I might need it. I know I'm not going to need it in my style of music, so there's no point in me going off learning instruments I know I'm not going to play. And that's very much how I see my own playing on the guitar. I've got my speed up to a particular point where I'm quite happy with it, and I don't feel the need to work any faster at it or get anything any faster because I know I'm not going to need it. So there's no real need for me to learn it because I'm not going to need it. But anyway, I think that is really probably coming from a place of being artistically quite happy with your own direction. There will be some players who don't know what direction they want to go in, so they won't know what techniques they need because they don't know what they want to sound like, whereas I know what I want to sound like and have just worked at my techniques in order to achieve that. But anyway, that's again, we're getting sidetracked with the guitar, but thank you, Karen, for that donation. And thank you guys for joining me. We might have time for one more video before we finish. And I can see we're up to 288 likes, so thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up. Maybe we can have a little spike of the likes before we finish the live stream. We're just approaching 5 minutes past 1 here in the UK, so it is getting a little bit late here. That's in the morning, by the way. So let me have a little look over on Patreon and see what else we have had requested. We have a request for Percy Johnson from Selena and Cindy as well. Let me have a scroll down. Percy Johnson is in there from Deborah and Bev as well. I'm just going to keep on scrolling down. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of Percy Johnson, which I might be able to demonstrate on the guitar afterwards as well, very quickly if we have got time. But thank you for requesting this, and I'll have to try and find it. I think I have it. Hopefully this is the right button. Fingers crossed, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Beyond London Bridge. what we say. Don't hurt them, I'm coming. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million we know who you're working for. Just say the word and MI5 break down the door. Don't trust him, he's bluffing. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. Sky is falling. Here come the angels dressed in black. It's not quite clear who will live and who shall on the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million
And there we have it. That was my song called Percy Johnson. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And you can pick that up at wingsofpegasus.com/music. And you can get my album there called Persistence, or download songs just individually if you want to. You can also get all of that on iTunes and Amazon, but it's better for me if you go to my website so that I don't have to give away a percentage. So we are at 304 likes tonight. So thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up. And we are going to be calling things to a close pretty soon, in about 5 minutes. So if you haven't used your thumbs up token, it would be much appreciated if you could use that before we finish. And I'll take you guys through the riff for Percy Johnson, even though I was in flat tuning there in the video, so it means that when I'm playing it here it's going to sound weird, and just trying to get it in my head in order to figure it out, it's something that's very complicated, but I will give it a go. I'm just going to put my hands in exactly the same place as I saw me doing in the video, and hopefully it is going to work. So let me get rid of that, and this is going to be a slide from your C up to D, and we have this like that, just a little slide up like that. And this is down to an E5, and then a big shift up to, I'm just taking the -7th of the E, like that, just playing the two strings, the B and the G together with vibrato, and so and there's a little slide up and down, a quick slide, so that was, like that. And then we're back to C. Now down to B. And just take that little finger, just 1 fret higher semitone on that G string. Like that. And I mean, the only thing to mention about that is when we go down to there, you can hear hopefully the palm mute theme. It's not like that, but kind of like that. So we've got that. And in terms of that rhythm, again, I'm applying palm mute in there in order to get those stabs to just stand out. Like that, and you go back to so that is the riff. Obviously I was taking a bit of tempo out there so you can hear how it goes, and yeah, all fun stuff. And very much more the guitar to be playing the hard rock kind of sound on, because you get a lot more of that signal. But thank you Mike as well, who has donated $5, and I'm just gonna scroll down to make sure that that is a straight up donation without a message, so thank you for that, Mike. And thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I should maybe wrap things up, go full circle, trying to remember that little line that... Oh, I almost did it. I almost came back. So I'll have to play that over the top. But thank you guys for joining me tonight, and also for joining Mario's guitar. Thank you, Mario, for sending this over to me. And I haven't seen Mario in the live chat room tonight, and I'm sure you guys would have given a big shout out if we had seen him in there. So maybe we can find Mario in the catch-up crew, which means that we won't see him live, but we might see him leaving a comment or something. But also we can hold out for next week, see if Mario's going to be in the house. But this is Mario's guitar, and it has done a very nice job tonight. So thank you, Mario, and thank you guys for tuning in tonight. And we're going to be calling it to a close now. There's going to be another picture. I haven't shown the picture yet. This is something that I was going to say. Let me get the background up on screen, because we should have a picture of Mary with her Wings of Pegasus sneakers. Or Converse, I can't remember what we decided they were called. Over here in the UK, we call them trainers, or probably Converse, but there they are. So Mary is modelling them in the mirror there. So thank you for that, Mary, for sending that over. We did see a picture of them previously, close up, and now we have them in real life with some real world application of the trainers, sneakers, whatever we're calling them, Converse, trainers and sneakers. But thank you, Mary, for that. And these are the only Wings of Pegasus sneakers in the world so far. So thank you for that, Mary, and also for uploading that picture and sending it to me so that I could show it on the show tonight. And that's the only picture that we have tonight. If there are any other ones, then I will pick those up and we'll be looking at those on Tuesday. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. And I'm going to be doing another analysis video tomorrow night, and we'll be live streaming, like I just said, on Tuesday night, and then doing a live analysis on Wednesday night. So make sure that you tune in then, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of the week, even though technically there's not that much left of the week, but I hope you guys have a great Saturday night. It's now Sunday here, so we are into the next week already, and I'll see you hopefully on Tuesday if you can make it. If not, maybe on Wednesday, but then the analysis videos keep coming your way on a Friday, and yeah, we will see what happens then. But thank you for joining me tonight, guys, and hello. I'm just going to get you guys for a final time up on screen. So we have Neil going through, and Lucy and Constantia and Pleasant Valley, Pica, California, Vince, Nora and Kevin. and Billy going through, Jennifer, Beth, and Donna, and Brian, and How Co-Tube. So thank you guys for joining me, and Sandy just going through there as well, and Mary is going through there as well. So thank you for uploading that picture, Mary, but thank you everyone for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up. If you are part of that catch-up crew, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to grow and for these live streams to get out there as well. So I will see you guys at the next one, and try to stay safe, follow your government's guidelines about the masks and the social distancing, all of that stuff, and hopefully things will continue to improve. Hopefully this Indian strain thing that we have here is going to be kept under control as much as possible, but hopefully things are okay where you are, and that they will improve in the future as well, as long as we just keep on keeping the self-distancing and getting the jabs as well. I've had my first one and I'm waiting for my second one, so we will see how long that takes, but it shouldn't be too long now. But everybody stay as safe as possible, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!